I'm standing on the exact spot where just a few years ago, Tabitha and I witnessed multiple UFOs. In fact, this dry lake is very close to Area 51. And this spot is where the military crash lands test aircraft if they can't make it back to Area 51. In fact, we have found the debris and wreckage of jet aircraft in the hillsides surrounding this dry lake. So let's take a look at the UFO phenomenon, and specifically let's take a deep dive into what alien life forms may actually look like. So without further ado, Joe, take it away.
Thank you, Gary. Area 51 is a United States Air Force facility located in the southern part of Nevada, around 80 miles from Las Vegas. The facility has been shrouded in mystery and speculation since its inception in 1955, and over the years, it has become the subject of countless conspiracy theories and has become an iconic symbol of UFO culture. The origins of the facility are shrouded in secrecy. Area 51 was established by the United States government in the 1950s as a top-secret research facility for testing and developing advanced military aircraft. The facility was originally part of the Nellis Air Force Range, and its primary purpose was to develop and test cutting-edge aircraft and weapon systems. For many years, the existence of Area 51 was unknown to the public, and it was only in the 1990s that the facility was officially acknowledged by the U.S. government. However, by that time, the facility had already become a hotbed of speculation and conspiracy theories, particularly in relation to UFOs and extraterrestrial life. The first rumors about Area 51 and UFOs began to circulate in the late 1970s and early 1980s. These rumors were fueled by a number of factors, including the secrecy surrounding the facility, the unexplained sightings of strange lights and objects in the sky over the region, and the fact that the facility was located in the middle of a desolate and remote area. One of the key events that helped to cement Area 51's place in UFO culture was the publication of a book by Bob Lazar in 1989. Lazar claimed to have worked at Area 51, where he had been involved in reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology. He claimed to have seen 9 flying saucers stored at the facility, and he provided detailed descriptions of their technology and operation. Lazar's claims were widely reported in the media, and they sparked a renewed interest in Area 51 and UFOs. In the years that followed, a number of other individuals came forward with similar claims, further fueling speculation about the facility and its alleged links to extraterrestrial life. Another key factor in the rise of Area 51 as a UFO cultural phenomenon was the Internet. With the advent of the World Wide Web in the early 1990s, information about the facility and its alleged secrets became more widely available, and a vibrant online community of conspiracy theorists and UFO enthusiasts began to develop. So why has Area 51 become such a cultural phenomenon? One reason is undoubtedly the secrecy that surrounds the facility. The fact that it is a highly secure military installation, and that very little is known about what goes on there, has fueled speculation and conspiracy theories for decades. The location of the facility is also significant. It is situated in a remote and desolate part of the Nevada desert, which has only added to the aura of mystery and secrecy surrounding it. Is Area 51 hiding aliens, or is it just a test facility? One of the primary arguments for the presence of aliens at Area 51 is the large number of reported sightings of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, in the area. Many people believe that the government is hiding evidence of alien technology, and that these UFO sightings are proof of this. Additionally, there have been reports of extraterrestrial beings being held captive at Area 51, which has only fueled the belief that the government is hiding something. Another piece of evidence that some use to support the idea of aliens at Area 51 is the fact that the government has been reluctant to disclose information about the base. Despite numerous requests for information under the Freedom of Information Act, the government has been tight-lipped about what goes on inside the base, leading some to speculate that they are hiding something. Another argument for the presence of aliens at Area 51 is the fact that the government has taken steps to prevent unauthorized access to the base. The perimeter of the base is heavily guarded, and signs warn that deadly force can be used against intruders. Additionally, the airspace over the base is restricted, and any aircraft that fly into the area are quickly intercepted by military jets. Clearly, these security measures might simply be necessary to protect research and development of advanced military technology. However, the extreme measures in place at Area 51 suggest something unusual may be hidden there. Beyond the on-site security system, Area 51 is protected by additional measures that are extreme. Additionally, it is widely known that the various facilities and their employees at Area 51 are highly compartmentalized. No one department is aware of or allowed to commingle with any other department. In other words, there is no single entity or employee, civilian or military, who has a complete dataset of everything being developed or engineered at Area 51. These are extreme measures indeed, and suggest that whatever is happening at Area 51 is extraordinarily significant. One of the primary arguments for the idea that Area 51 is only a test facility for new aircraft technology is the fact that the government has acknowledged the base's existence. If the government was hiding evidence of aliens, it is unlikely that they would have admitted to the existence of the base. Additionally, the government has disclosed that the base is used for the testing of new aircraft technology. This includes the development of spy planes and other types of aircraft that are used for intelligence gathering and reconnaissance. The government has even acknowledged the existence of the Lockheed U-2 spy plane, which was developed at Area 51 in the 1950s. Another argument for the idea that Area 51 is only a test facility for new aircraft technology is the fact that many of the reported UFO sightings can be explained by natural phenomena or by the testing of new aircraft. For example, the Orona aircraft, which was developed in the 1980s, was responsible for many reported UFO sightings in the area. Additionally, the testing of new aircraft can produce unusual lights and sounds that could be mistaken for UFOs. The government has also stated that the heavy security at Area 51 is necessary to protect the development of new technology from foreign spies and other threats. The fact that the airspace over the base is restricted is also seen as necessary to prevent unauthorized access and to protect the safety of those working at the base. So why would aliens want to visit Earth in the first place? While there is no concrete evidence to suggest that aliens have visited Earth, the question of why they might want to do so has been a topic of debate among scientists, researchers, and enthusiasts alike. Let's explore two differing points of view on why aliens might want to visit Earth. First, let's look at this from a scientific perspective. One of the primary reasons that aliens might want to visit Earth from a scientific perspective is to study the planet and its inhabitants. Earth is a unique and diverse planet, with a rich variety of flora and fauna that could be of interest to extraterrestrial scientists. Additionally, the conditions on Earth are unlike those found on any other planet in our solar system, making it an ideal location for scientific study. Another reason that aliens might want to visit Earth is to study human beings. Humans are a complex and intelligent species, with a range of behaviors and thought processes that could be of interest to alien scientists. By studying humans, aliens could gain insight into the workings of intelligent life and the evolution of consciousness. From a cultural perspective, aliens might also be interested in visiting Earth to learn about human cultures and societies. Humans have developed a rich and diverse array of cultures and traditions, and aliens might find this fascinating. They might want to learn about our art, music, literature, and other aspects of human culture, and they could bring their own cultural traditions to share with us. Another reason that aliens might want to visit Earth from a scientific perspective is to study our technology. Human beings have developed a wide range of technologies, from simple tools to complex machines, and aliens might be interested in learning about these advancements. By studying our technology, they could gain insight into how we think and how we solve problems, and they could use this information to further their own scientific research. From a theoretical perspective, there are several reasons that aliens might want to visit Earth. One of the most compelling is the idea that aliens might be searching for other intelligent life in the universe. It is possible that aliens have been monitoring Earth for some time, and that they are interested in making contact with human beings in order to establish a dialogue and learn more about our species. Another theoretical reason that aliens might want to visit Earth is to establish a colony or outpost. If aliens are searching for a new home or a place to establish a base of operations, Earth could be an attractive option. The planet has a diverse range of resources and a hospitable environment, and it could be an ideal location for an extraterrestrial colony. From a more sinister perspective, aliens might want to visit Earth in order to conquer or dominate the planet. This idea has been explored in countless works of science fiction, and while it may seem far-fetched, it is not entirely impossible. If aliens were to view human beings as a threat or a potential source of conflict, they might seek to subjugate or destroy our species in order to eliminate the perceived threat. Another theoretical reason that aliens might want to visit Earth is to share knowledge and technology. If aliens have developed advanced technologies that they believe could benefit humanity, they might want to share this knowledge with us. This could include advancements in medicine, energy, transportation, or other areas of technology. By sharing their knowledge and expertise, aliens could help to advance human civilization and bring about a new era of progress and prosperity. And these differing theories on why aliens might want to visit planet Earth raise the further question of whether aliens who visit Earth might be hostile or benevolent. On one hand, some believe that aliens who visit Earth could be hostile and pose a threat to humanity. This belief is often fueled by science fiction movies and novels, which often depict extraterrestrial beings as aggressive and violent towards humans. Additionally, some point to the historical treatment of indigenous populations by colonizers on Earth as evidence that a more technologically advanced species may seek to exploit or dominate a less advanced one. Others argue that aliens who visit Earth may be benevolent and interested in peaceful interactions with humans. This perspective is often rooted in the belief that intelligent life forms capable of interstellar travel would have developed a level of technological sophistication that would allow them to resolve conflicts without resorting to violence. Additionally, some point to the potential benefits of contact with a more advanced species, including advancements in science and technology, as well as new perspectives on societal and philosophical issues. One argument in favor of the possibility of hostile aliens is the so-called Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox is the contradiction between the high probability of the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations and the lack of evidence of their existence. One proposed explanation for this paradox is that extraterrestrial civilizations are inherently self-destructive, either through environmental or societal collapse, or through the development of destructive technologies. If this is the case, then any alien civilizations that do survive and develop interstellar travel may have done so through aggressive or exploitative means. Another argument for the possibility of hostile aliens is the observation that the universe can be a dangerous place. Cosmic events such as supernovae, gamma-ray bursts, and black holes can have catastrophic effects on planets and their inhabitants. If alien civilizations are aware of these dangers, they may see it as necessary to take preemptive measures to protect themselves, including potentially aggressive actions towards other civilizations. One argument for the possibility of benevolent aliens is the observation that humans have historically shown a tendency to anthropomorphize non-human entities. This means that we often ascribe human characteristics and motivations to animals, objects, and even natural phenomena. It is possible that our assumptions about the nature of aliens are based on our own perceptions and biases, rather than any actual evidence. Additionally, proponents of the benevolent alien perspective point to the lack of any confirmed hostile encounters with extraterrestrial beings. While there have been numerous reports of UFO sightings and alleged abductions, there is no concrete evidence to suggest that any of these encounters were hostile in nature. Furthermore, some argue that the lack of any confirmed hostile encounters suggests that any advanced civilizations in the universe are inherently peaceful and interested in peaceful interactions with other civilizations. The debate over whether aliens who visit Earth might be hostile or benevolent is a complex and multifaceted issue. While there are compelling arguments to support both perspectives, there is no concrete evidence to confirm or refute either viewpoint. As such, it is important to approach the topic with an open mind and a willingness to consider multiple perspectives. Ultimately, the question of whether aliens who visit Earth will be hostile or benevolent remains unanswered, and may remain so until such time as we have definitive evidence of their visitation.
So basically, we're all just guessing. But what I find to be more exciting is thinking about the possibility of what these aliens might actually look like. So let's dig even deeper and take a look at what some of those possibilities might be.
What could extraterrestrial alien life look like? The possibility of life beyond our planet has long fascinated humanity, and the search for extraterrestrial life is a topic of ongoing research in the scientific community, as well as amateur investigators and mystics alike. While it is impossible to know for certain what kind of life exists beyond Earth, we can use our knowledge of biology and the conditions necessary for life to speculate on the possible forms that extraterrestrial life could take. And beyond this, we can imagine what some forms of life might look like if they are not of our biology. It is plausible that life could exist which is not carbon-based as we are, and in fact, though ultra-intelligent, is literally invisible to us as a possible life form. So first let's take the tact of what we know as life, using the biology of planet Earth as our basis. And then later we'll open the door to some wild possibilities of what life could look like in the far corners of our galaxy, and even beyond across the entire universe. Firstly, it is important to note that the conditions necessary for life on Earth as we know it are very specific. Life requires certain elements such as carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur, which form the basis for the organic molecules that make up living organisms. Additionally, life requires a stable environment with the right temperature range, atmospheric pressure, and availability of water, which are necessary for the chemical reactions that sustain life here on Earth. Given these requirements, it could be that extraterrestrial life, if it exists, would be based on the same or similar organic molecules as life on Earth, and would require a similar environment to sustain it. However, the diversity of life on Earth, which includes everything from single-celled organisms to complex multicellular organisms, suggests that the forms that extraterrestrial life could take are virtually limitless. Even limited by our biology, life on Earth is amazingly diverse. One possibility is that extraterrestrial life could exist in extreme environments, such as on planets with extremely high or low temperatures, or in the harsh conditions of space itself. Organisms that can survive in extreme environments are known as extremophiles, and include bacteria that can survive in hot springs, or deep-sea creatures that can survive at high pressure and low temperatures. It is possible that life on other planets could be based on extremophiles that have adapted to the extreme conditions of their environment. Another possibility is that extraterrestrial life could be very different from life on Earth, based on different organic molecules, or using different biochemical processes. For example, some scientists have suggested that life could be based on silicon instead of carbon, as silicon is chemically similar to carbon and could form the basis for organic molecules. Other theories suggest that extraterrestrial life could be based on completely different biochemical processes, such as using different solvents than water or using different forms of energy to sustain life. The diversity of extraterrestrial life could also depend on the age and size of the universe. The universe is estimated to be around 13.8 billion years old, and the conditions necessary for life have existed for much of that time. If life evolved independently on other planets, it is possible that some civilizations could be much older and more technologically advanced than humanity. These civilizations could have developed ways of sustaining life that are beyond our current understanding, and could have evolved forms of life that are radically different from anything we have seen on Earth. In addition to biological diversity, extraterrestrial life could also exhibit cultural and technological diversity. If we assume that other civilizations have developed intelligence and the ability to communicate, they could have developed unique cultures and technologies that reflect their values and experiences. It is possible that these cultures could be vastly different from human cultures, with different social structures, languages, and belief systems. The question of whether life exists beyond our planet has been a topic of scientific inquiry for decades. With recent technological advancements in space exploration and astrobiology, the search for extraterrestrial life has become more focused and sophisticated. While we have yet to discover definitive proof of life beyond Earth, there are several factors that suggest that the existence of extraterrestrial life is plausible, and that such life could exist in outer space. One of the key factors that suggest the possibility of extraterrestrial life is the abundance of potentially habitable planets in our galaxy. In the last few decades, the discovery of exoplanets, or planets that exist outside of our solar system, has skyrocketed. According to current estimates, there may be billions of potentially habitable planets in our Milky Way galaxy alone. These planets are in the habitable zone, which is the range of distances from a star where the surface temperature of an orbiting planet may be suitable for liquid water to exist. Liquid water is considered one of the primary requirements for life as we know it, and the presence of water is a key factor in the search for extraterrestrial life. While the search for extraterrestrial life focuses primarily on planets, there is also the possibility that life could exist on other bodies in our solar system. For example, scientists have discovered that some of the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, such as Europa and Enceladus, have subsurface oceans of liquid water. These oceans are thought to be heated by the tidal forces exerted by their parent planets and could potentially harbor life. Another key factor that suggests the possibility of extraterrestrial life is the prevalence of organic molecules in space. Organic molecules are the building blocks of life on Earth, and the detection of organic molecules in space has been one of the key goals of astrobiology. In recent years, scientists have discovered a wide range of organic molecules in space, including amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. These organic molecules have been found in comets, meteorites, and in the interstellar medium, which is the space between stars. The discovery of organic molecules in space suggests that the conditions necessary for life as we know it may be more common than previously thought. However, it is important to note that the presence of organic molecules does not necessarily mean that life exists. These molecules can also be produced by non-biological processes, such as chemical reactions in space. In addition to the physical factors that suggest the possibility of extraterrestrial life, there are also theoretical arguments that suggest that life could exist in outer space. One of these arguments is based on the concept of shadow life, which proposes that there may be forms of life that are based on different biochemistry than life on Earth. For example, life could be based on different elements, such as silicon or sulfur, rather than the carbon-based biochemistry of life on Earth. Shadow life could also be based on different biochemical processes, such as using different solvents than water. Another theoretical argument for the existence of extraterrestrial life is based on the concept of panspermia, which proposes that life on Earth may have originated from elsewhere in the universe. The idea is that life could have been transported to Earth by comets, asteroids, or other interstellar objects. While there is no definitive proof of panspermia, it is an intriguing possibility that suggests that life could exist beyond our planet. So our imaginations can run wild with the possibilities of life beyond our own. Now let's take a deeper dive into some ideas of what life could be out there, somewhere, and what it could look like. First, let's consider extremophiles. Extremophiles are microorganisms that are capable of surviving and thriving in extreme environments that are hostile to most forms of life on Earth. These environments can include extremely high or low temperatures, acidic or alkaline conditions, high pressure, and high radiation levels. The discovery of extremophiles has opened up new possibilities for understanding the limits of life on Earth and the potential for life on other planets. One of the key characteristics of extremophiles is their ability to adapt to harsh environments. For example, some extremophiles are capable of surviving in temperatures as high as 121 degrees Celsius, such as the bacteria found in the hot springs of Yellowstone National Park. Other extremophiles are able to survive in the extreme cold of Antarctica, where temperatures can drop to -80 degrees Celsius. These organisms have developed unique mechanisms for protecting themselves from extreme temperatures, such as producing heat shock proteins or altering their cell membrane structure. Another type of extremophile is the acidophile, which is capable of thriving in extremely acidic environments. Acidophiles have been found in the acidic waters of mine tailings and other industrial waste sites, where the pH can be as low as 1.0. These microorganisms are able to survive in such harsh conditions by producing enzymes that are stable at low pH, and by using specialized transport proteins to pump out excess protons from their cells. Similarly, alkaliphiles are microorganisms that are able to survive in extremely alkaline conditions, such as those found in soda lakes and geothermal springs. Alkaliphiles have adapted to these environments by producing alkaline-tolerant enzymes and by using specialized transport proteins to maintain the proper pH balance inside their cells. Extremophiles are also capable of surviving in high-pressure environments, such as the deep sea, where pressures can reach up to 1,000 atmospheres. These organisms have developed unique adaptations, such as rigid cell walls and specialized membrane structures, to prevent their cells from being crushed by the immense pressure. In addition to their ability to adapt to extreme environments, extremophiles have also been found to play important roles in their respective ecosystems. For example, the bacteria found in the hot springs of Yellowstone National Park are capable of producing unique pigments that are used by other microorganisms in the ecosystem as a source of energy. Similarly, extremophiles found in deep-sea hydrothermal vents are thought to play a key role in the cycling of nutrients in the ocean. The discovery of extremophiles has also opened up new possibilities for astrobiology, the study of the origins and distribution of life in the universe. The extreme environments that extremophiles are capable of surviving in are similar to the conditions that are thought to exist on other planets and moons in our solar system, such as Mars, Europa, and Enceladus. For example, the discovery of subsurface oceans on Europa and Enceladus has led to speculation that these environments could harbor life similar to the extremophiles found on Earth. Now let's consider other possibilities with respect to what extraterrestrial life could be. If we think of life as consciousness or simply the ability to be aware of existence, then it raises other considerations such as, is a physical brain of some kind necessary for consciousness? Let's dive into this rabbit hole a tiny bit. Now, the debate about whether consciousness resides solely in the human brain has been ongoing for centuries. Philosophers, scientists, and theologians have all contributed to this debate, offering various theories and arguments on both sides of the issue. While some believe that consciousness is purely a product of the brain, others argue that it is a phenomenon that extends beyond the physical body. One of the most prominent arguments for the idea that consciousness resides solely in the brain is the correlation between brain activity and conscious experience. Studies have shown that changes in brain activity correspond to changes in consciousness, such as alterations in mood, perception, and thought. This suggests that consciousness is a product of the physical processes occurring within the brain, and that it cannot exist without them. Proponents of this view argue that consciousness is a byproduct of neural activity. They believe that as neurons fire and communicate with one another, they generate the subjective experiences we associate with consciousness. This is sometimes referred to as the emergent theory of consciousness, which asserts that consciousness arises from the complex interactions of neurons and other brain cells. On the other side of the debate, there are those who believe that consciousness cannot be reduced to purely physical processes. They argue that there is more to consciousness than just the neural activity occurring in the brain. Some propose that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, akin to space, time, and matter. This perspective is known as panpsychism, which asserts that consciousness is present in all physical systems, from subatomic particles to the human brain. Proponents of panpsychism believe that the brain does not create consciousness, but rather acts as a conduit for it. They argue that the brain is not the source of consciousness, but merely a filter or lens through which consciousness is experienced. In this view, consciousness is not confined to the brain, but extends beyond it, permeating the entire universe. Another argument against the idea that consciousness resides solely in the brain is the existence of near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences. These phenomena suggest that consciousness can exist independently of the physical body. Some individuals who have had near-death experiences report feelings of being outside their bodies, watching events unfold from a third-person perspective. This seems to suggest that consciousness can exist beyond the physical confines of the brain. Others argue that consciousness is a product of the soul or some other non-physical entity. According to this perspective, the brain is not the source of consciousness, but merely a vessel that houses it. This view is often associated with religious or spiritual beliefs, and posits that consciousness is a divine gift that is granted to humans, rather than something that emerges from physical processes. The debate over whether consciousness resides solely in the brain is far from settled. While neuroscience has made significant strides in understanding the relationship between brain activity and conscious experience, there is still much that we do not know. Some argue that we may never be able to fully understand consciousness, as it is a phenomenon that lies beyond the scope of empirical science. Now, given the fact that we really don't know for certain what consciousness is, or where it comes from, or even where it resides, then an entire new universe of possibilities arise. Could consciousness reside in inanimate objects? Or at least what we think are inanimate objects? Can a rock be conscious? A piece of wood? A cloud of gas? A commingling of chemicals otherwise considered to be inert? When we consider the possibility of where consciousness could exist, the conversation opens up into mind-blowing, if not infinite, possibilities. Our universe may be teeming with life in ways we literally cannot comprehend. We are limited in our capacity to comprehend all information. We know that our human brains are filtered. We cannot decode all of the information we are being hit with in every moment of our existence. Most likely, these brain filters are an adaptation. At our core, we haven't changed much from hunter-gatherer humans, and from a strictly survival standpoint, it is critical that our brains filter out anything not necessary for basic survival. In other words, we may be hardwired, such that we cannot even perceive of forms of extraterrestrial life which could exist. And they could be all around us in this moment, now. So now that we've opened the door for an infinite potential of variations in alien life and consciousness, what forms could these aliens be in? For me, this is where the fun really begins. I mean, think about it. The various aliens we see in our science fiction movies or read about and so on. Maybe just a tiny cell in a universe so vast, we cannot possibly imagine what's really out there. So let's start with how science fiction and pop culture has depicted alien life forms. Aliens have been a popular subject in science fiction since the early days of the genre. From the terrifying monsters of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds to the friendly extraterrestrial of Steven Spielberg's E.T. the Extraterrestrial, aliens have captured the imagination of audiences and inspired countless stories. In science fiction, aliens are often depicted as beings from other planets or even other dimensions, with a wide variety of appearances, abilities, and motivations. They might be humanoid in shape, with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. Or they might be completely unlike anything on Earth. They might be benevolent, seeking to share their knowledge and culture with humanity, or they might be malevolent, seeking to destroy or conquer us. One of the earliest and most famous depictions of aliens in science fiction is H.G. Wells's 1898 novel, The War of the Worlds. In this story, Martians invade Earth, wielding terrifying weapons and causing destruction and chaos. The novel was a commentary on imperialism and the idea of one culture invading and dominating another, and it has inspired numerous adaptations and imitators over the years. Another classic example of aliens in science fiction is the film Close Encounters of the Third Kind, directed by Steven Spielberg. In this movie, aliens arrive on Earth and make contact with humans, leading to a journey of discovery and wonder. The aliens are depicted as peaceful and intelligent, with an interest in learning about humanity and sharing their own knowledge. The Alien franchise is another iconic example of aliens in science fiction, but with a much darker twist. The original 1979 film, directed by Ridley Scott, featured a terrifying extraterrestrial creature that hunted and killed the crew of a spaceship. The alien's design, with its elongated head, razor-sharp teeth, and acid blood, has become one of the most recognizable and iconic images in science fiction. The franchise has continued with multiple sequels and spin-offs, exploring different aspects of the alien creatures and their place in the universe. One of the key themes that emerges in many stories about aliens is the idea of the other. Humans often react to aliens with fear and suspicion, seeing them as a threat to our way of life. This reflects our own tendencies to view those who are different from us with suspicion and fear. However, many stories also explore the idea of empathy and understanding, with humans and aliens able to find common ground and work together. Another common theme in stories about aliens is the concept of first contact. What happens when humans and aliens meet for the first time? How do we communicate with beings who might have completely different ways of thinking and communicating? These questions are explored in films like Arrival, where a linguist is tasked with communicating with aliens who have arrived on Earth. In some stories, aliens are also used as a way to comment on human society and politics. The classic Star Trek franchise, for example, often used alien species to explore themes like racism, war, and imperialism. The various alien races that the crew of the Enterprise encountered had their own unique cultures and perspectives, allowing the show to explore different aspects of human society from a fresh angle. Overall, aliens have been a rich and fascinating subject in science fiction, allowing writers, filmmakers, and game designers to explore a wide variety of themes and ideas. From terrifying monsters to friendly visitors, aliens have captured our imagination and inspired countless stories, and they will likely continue to do so for many years to come. And if we really want to drill into the deepest depths of possibilities, consider this. If the universe is infinite, then there would be infinite possibilities. Anything we could imagine or not even imagine would be very real, very much alive, existing somewhere. But what is the most likely scenario? Would we even know when we are face to face with aliens? And if aliens did arrive on Earth, what would their motivations be? And it could be that they've been here among us since the dawn of humanity. What if these extraterrestrials are so beyond what we would consider to be intelligent life forms that we simply don't realize what they are? We could easily dismiss living creatures, which to us appear to be nothing more than non-conscious flora, as primitive and lesser evolved, when in fact they are far more conscious than we are. And even more interesting is the possibility that not only have they been here, but that we or some of us are currently among them on distant spaceships or different planets, far beyond our imaginations. Could it be that alien abduction stories are real? Could it be that there are forms of us that have been inbred with distant aliens? We cannot discount would could be in an infinite universe. There may be something like Theanthropos or half-human, half-animal or half-entities out there, somewhere. And even this strange consideration could be absolutely true even within a universe confined to what we call modern science.
So what is a Theanthrope? A Theanthrope is half human, half animal. And we see this in Egyptian hieroglyphics. We see this in their pantheon of gods. Anubis, which is head of a jackal, body of a human. Horus, head of a falcon, body of a human. And in other cultures all over the world in completely different time frames, different human time frames. There's something important about Theanthropes. There's something important about half human, half animal entities. And this became very clear to me one day when we were trekking in a canyon in southeastern Utah hunting for ancient rock art sites, of which we found many. And I looked high up on a canyon wall and there was a petroglyph, an ancient rock art carving in the rock wall, probably thousands of years old. And that image looked exactly like Anubis. Now, Utah is a long way from Egypt, so there was something going on. And then as I started to peruse other information, other data with respect to ancient rock art sites, I noticed entity after entity after entity. There was half human, half animal. There's something going on here. Now, I know that the ancient shaman were using psychoactive plants to enter into hallucinogenic trances for vision quests and so forth. And I know that during those experiences, they say they speak to these entities, that they gain information from these entities. Now, I want you to consider this. It could be that aliens can communicate with us consciously or through vibration and frequency, and they don't need physical means to do this. They don't need clunky flying saucers. Think about it. They might not need these things, these physical things, to traverse the universe. And I would consider this, and that is, in modern subatomic physics, when we're talking about quantum physics, quantum theory, there's this idea of entanglement. And it's very, very interesting. To simplify, what entanglement means is you could split an atom in half, keep half, send the other half to the other end of the universe, then affect your half, add data to it, affect it somehow. And what we know is that other half of that atom at the other end of the universe will replicate and do exactly what you're doing to this half there. Now that's amazing, because that transcends the idea of the limitation of the speed of light. This means that information could traverse the universe instantaneously. So if I'm an alien at the other end of the universe and I want to talk to mankind, why would I jump in a clunky flying saucer when all I have to do is communicate through consciousness, vibration, frequency, something else? I don't physically need to jump in this box and zip across the universe. I can get to Earth instantaneously through something along the lines of quantum entanglement. It's possible, and it opens up whole new realms of possibility for visitation from alien life forms. Something to consider and something very, very fascinating. So now let's go back to Joe and dig even deeper into this whole thing.
Consciousness is generally defined as the awareness of one's surroundings, thoughts, and feelings. It is what allows us to perceive, reason, and interact with the world around us. While we have made significant progress in understanding the brain mechanisms that underlie consciousness, there is still much that we do not know. Some scientists believe that consciousness emerges from the complex interactions of neurons in the brain, while others argue that it is a fundamental property of the universe. Regardless of the ultimate source of consciousness, it is clear that information plays a crucial role in its operation. The brain processes vast amounts of information every second, from sensory input to memories and thoughts. Information is encoded in patterns of electrical and chemical activity in the brain, and this information is constantly being updated and modified as we experience the world. But what about non-living things like rocks? Can they also store information? At first glance, this might seem unlikely. Rocks are inert and do not have the complex chemical and electrical processes that are present in living organisms. However, recent research has suggested that even seemingly simple systems can exhibit complex behavior and store information. One example of this is the phenomenon of memory in crystals. Certain types of crystals, such as quartz, can store and transmit information in the form of vibrations. When subjected to an electric field, quartz crystals can vibrate at a specific frequency, which can be used to encode information. This property has made quartz crystals useful in a wide range of technologies, from watches to computers. Another example of information storage in non-living things is the concept of morphic resonance, proposed by biologist Rupert Sheldrake. According to Sheldrake, all living and non-living things have a morphic field that influences their behavior and properties. These morphic fields can be influenced by past events, leading to a kind of memory that is not based on physical structures like neurons or crystals. It is important to remember that our understanding of the universe is constantly evolving. As we learn more about the complex behaviors of simple systems, we may discover that they are capable of much more than we previously thought. As such, it is plausible that aliens could already be here on Earth in forms we do not understand. We could even be surrounded by alien consciousness without any means to detect their presence. For some, this may sound silly or absurd based on our current knowledge and the systemic education we have received. But we should always remember that human beings are highly suggestible, and that simply because we have been programmed to think and believe in certain forms does not mean that there are not forms that we are unaware of. Alien life forms could be everywhere, and they may have existed on this planet long before humanity have existed. Given the age of the universe as we currently understand it, this idea is not beyond the realm of possibility. So let's open our minds to what could be around us in this moment now. That could be alien in origin. Extraterrestrials could be saturated on planet Earth. While there is no conclusive evidence to suggest that aliens have visited our planet, some people believe that the government may be hiding knowledge of their existence. Firstly, it is important to note that the idea of a government cover-up of extraterrestrial life is often associated with conspiracy theories and fringe beliefs. However, it is not entirely unfounded. There have been cases in the past where the government has withheld information from the public, such as the secrecy surrounding the development of nuclear weapons and surveillance programs. It is not entirely outside the realm of possibility that the government might be hiding knowledge of aliens for their own reasons. One reason why the government might be keeping information about aliens secret is national security. If aliens have visited our planet, the government might view this as a potential threat to national security. For example, if aliens have advanced technology or weaponry that could be used against us, the government might not want to alert the public to this danger. Alternatively, if aliens are peaceful and have made contact with us, the government might be keeping this information secret to prevent panic and social disruption. Another reason why the government might be keeping information about aliens secret is economic and technological advantage. If aliens have advanced technology, the government might want to keep this information secret in order to develop their own technology and gain a competitive advantage over other countries. Alternatively, if aliens have access to valuable resources, such as rare minerals or energy sources, the government might want to keep this information secret to prevent other countries from competing for these resources. A third reason why the government might be hiding information about aliens is religious and social implications. The existence of intelligent life beyond our planet could challenge our understanding of the universe and our place in it. Some religious groups might view the existence of aliens as a threat to their beliefs, while others might embrace it as proof of the vastness and complexity of creation. If the government were to announce that aliens have visited our planet, there would likely be a wide range of reactions, from curiosity to fear and panic. The government might not want to risk public backlash or loss of trust if they were to reveal information that is considered controversial or unbelievable. They might also be concerned about the potential impact on public policy, such as how to regulate interactions with extraterrestrial life, or allocate resources for research and exploration. Finally, it is possible that the government is not hiding any information about aliens at all. There is currently no conclusive evidence to suggest that aliens have visited our planet, and it is possible that any reports of sightings or encounters are either hoaxes or misidentifications of natural phenomena.
And how about a few more ideas, just to mix things up a little bit? What if life is eternal and our consciousness exists, moves on beyond this life, this world, to other worlds, other existences, other life forms? If that was the case, then whether aliens are visiting Earth or not, would it really matter? What would it matter? They could be us in different forms of life. So we're back on the dry lake where we experienced our UFO sighting, Tabitha and I. We were camped on this dry lake. There wasn't another soul, another human anywhere in sight. Probably not another human for 20 miles. And around midnight, we looked up in the sky to the south and we noticed these lights popping up out of nowhere, just poof, 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 multiples, many lights. And then suddenly, just as quickly, a whole bunch, dozens if not 100, I have no idea how many there were. It looked like a swarm of lights, spinning, zipping all around these other lights. And I was immediately transfixed. What on earth was this so close to Area 51? These little lights were moving at such an incredible speed that it couldn't have been us. They were literally shooting across the sky in milliseconds, less than a second, thousands of feet, vertically ascending, descending, thousands of feet within not even a second, milliseconds. We were utterly and absolutely mesmerized. And then at one point I was looking to the east, and then I looked over to the north, tracking one of these things. It literally went that fast, 90 degrees of the entire horizon, and it froze. It literally started here, zip, went to the north, froze, dead stop, no gradual stop, dead stop, and then stood there for probably a minute or so and then just vanished. Unbelievable. We were so mesmerized. I thought, wow, if that's us, that's alien technology, and we're experimenting, we're testing it. And if that's not us, that's no other nation, that's not of this world. It went on for probably about 20 or 30 minutes, and we were transfixed. We were just stunned, standing in the middle of this dry lake, so close to Area 51. I will never forget that night. But we never felt threatened. We never felt as if our being here was a problem. It felt otherworldly. It felt like there was a connection to some other world. And I can't describe what that feeling is, except that when you experience that, you realize how much we do not know. That was the takeaway. And it was wild. That was a wild ride. Well, I hope you've really enjoyed this wild ride. I certainly have. And we'll catch you on the next adventure.
So given the existence of extraterrestrial aliens, what could they look like? We'll most likely never truly know the vast differences in life across the universe. And this is actually exciting, because where there remains curiosity, where there remains a spirit of exploration and discovery, there remains a critical component of humanity. We are curious creatures, and this is what breathes life into our being. Without unexplored places and encounters, we lack purpose. And without purpose, we may as well be a stone, alone on a mountaintop, never seeing beyond the same sunrise and the same sunset. And that could be a definition of hell. But instead, we live in a universe which is a paradise of possibilities. Thanks for joining me on this adventure, and I'll see you again on our next adventure.